So this thing is that this car now gets ventilated seats, which the Magnite did not.
Right.
With the update, they got those special material on the seats which help you stay cooler, but it really isn't the solution. So this gets
Actual ventilation
function, and again very nicely integrated. The button stacks on these cars have always been very nice, very well laid out, even the aircon controls. So all of that is carried over, but everything that you see from the Magnite to here, there is a slight difference. Like the Magnite got this ionizer for cleaning up the air and stuff, and that logo you can see in the controls for the aircon, which is not there over here. This also has its air filtration system, but it's not integrated. That display is not integrated over there. So they have done, it's not like they've just taken parts from each other and slapped them on.
It's not one-to-one collaboration.
They have done things differently.
Okay.
So the ventilated seats is the most obvious example, right? And now the main thing that I think Renault has been smart about, at least right now, is that they have chosen to go the more premium route by offering this one feature. And I'm going to say it's this one feature that's going to set it apart from the Magnite while offering a lower price tag.
Okay.
And not an insignificant amount. So the interesting thing is with the prices. Now, this is somewhere between 6.3 lakhs to 11.3 lakhs and they have two engines, right? They've always had two engines. One is the naturally aspirated 1 liter, and the other is the turbocharged. The turbocharged variant costs 11.3 lakhs for this top spec variant. And the same engine on the Magnite is 11.8 lakhs.
Okay.
While not having ventilated seats. Right?
Right.
So
Renault, sorry, just for my reference, was the Kiger the less expensive car in the last?
No.
Okay.
That's the thing. So that's what I was coming to. So what happened the first time around was Magnite was the first one to come out, and their price tag was insane for back then.
Right.
I think they started at 5 lakhs or something like that.
Yep.
It was nuts. And Renault, by virtue of maybe being the larger brand, etc., they positioned themselves higher than the Magnite. And in that sense, they shot themselves in the foot. Now, this time, while they've gone and spec'd this car to feel like a more premium car, they have managed to price it lower than the Magnite. And I think that is the key point in the story, full stop. Okay. They have managed to do that. They have managed to price themselves well, price the Kiger well, because at 11.3 lakhs for the top spec variant, which means you have a turbo petrol engine, you have a CVT automatic with these ventilated seats, you're getting a lot of car. You're getting a lot of car. Now,
the one feature you were saying.
So the one feature that was there was the ventilated seats. Now, the other things were all the softer aspects. So, for instance, the suspension. Now, Renault is a brand we've always said, right? They have killed suspension, and suspension is like black magic. You get it or you don't get it. And Renault somehow always used to get setups right. And the Kiger was the one car that did not feel Renault enough. It didn't feel Renault. It used to have this stiff kind of feel. So again, between Magnite and Kiger, even when they first came out, the Kiger setup was slightly different. And it was slightly better, but they both felt a bit crude. So it would be like you'd feel a little bit of that firmness, and then it would handle big stuff, but it would not feel good, right? It would work. It would work fine, but it would not feel good. That was the thing. Now here with the suspension setup and everything that the Renault team that we were speaking to, so that everything has been, they'll say nothing has changed, right? But then they'll say everything has been optimized.
Right.
Everything has been tweaked. So whether it's the engine, whether it's the suspension, whether it's the body shell, everything has been tweaked little bit. One of the reasons for that is that the weight has gone up. It's gone up by 25 kilos for this car. Now it has 6 airbags as standard. It has ventilated seats, so weight, all of that has a little bit gone up. And they're saying everything from the chassis also has been optimized for that, for crash performance. So everything adds up. And so we've done tweaks like that to the suspension as well. Now, whatever they've done, irrespective, the one thing I can tell you is that now driving around in this car is enjoyable over our road. So I was driving it in Manesar outside of ICAT, and over there, so people were joking that, are you sure you want to take the car out? They were not joking, actually. I thought they were joking. Are you sure you want to take the car out? I said, yeah, why? So, no, the roads are a disaster. I said, that's perfect. It's like, no. These are the kind of roads where trucks kind of disappear into. And they were not kidding. Like, there were patches where it was Like trucks were slowing down to make their way through stuff. It was that bad. And of course, in the spirit of testing, we said we will do as much as we think is doable. But one of those potholes, while coming out, it did go. I stopped, checked. So there's a little slight scratch in the chin, underbody over there. But it was rough, and it was raining, so a lot of stuff. A lot of points. You didn't know how bad the stuff was under the water,
Yeah.
right? So stuff like that. So I was taking it out, and people were like, "Are you sure you're going to take it out?" I said, "No, we'll do this." So took it out, and in those conditions, to be able to drive just cleanly, I was very pleased because I didn't have to think about, doing the grimace when you see something rude. No, that didn't happen. The other area where you would feel that the lack of sophistication in the suspension was typically, the rumble strips, where the painted strips.
Yep.
The car used to just start moving around. A couple of places where I didn't manage to find a good stretch to do that, this felt more compliant. So it has a good balance at both sides, right? For the small movements and for the
hitting the
big
large stuff,
movements, right? At slow speeds and at higher speeds. So it was and to me, it was like, in my notes is written, now it feels Renault.
Got it.
Is it going to be the most sophisticated suspension setup in this segment? I'm not sure about that. We didn't drive it as much as we usually do. Like, this is less than 100 kilometers. Usually we'd be driving at least 150 kilometers.
Yep.
And this time, we didn't have that time. But in that, the overall sense of the suspension moving in the right direction is clear. There's no two ways about it. Tire sizes, same as before, so nothing has changed on that front. Braking setup, nothing has changed on that front. Even the brakes, actually, that's something that has always been a sticking point with these cars, is because they're very small diameter discs, right? And they look small. And there are a couple of things in the engineering of both these cars, the Magnite and the Kiger, where you'll notice these strange things. So the disc dia is very small.
Okay.
And whenever you look at it, you're like, man, how can it be so small for a car this big, right? Now, the interesting thing about these brakes is that for emergency stops, the power is fine,
Okay.
right? But when you're just doing normal braking at times, it feels a little spongy. So the positivity is not there.
The connection is weak.
So you end up thinking of it as, this is budget car. That's the thing.
But it's a feel thing, not a actual
so
performance
functionally,
thing.
it works fine. That's the thing we discovered when we were testing both the Kiger and the Magnite earlier before the facelifts. Because the first thought was, the feel is not good. This is feeling budget. And I said, I don't want to push this because if it's weak. And I said, okay, we got to find out. And then when we did push it, like hard stops, you realize it works fine. So it's not like it's that aspect of the product is not poorly engineered. It's just the feel is not great, right? Now, in this instance, now again, I'm going to say this is a caveat. When we get the cars here, we will explore this further. But it seems like something has improved here as well, because I don't remember being able to modulate these brakes earlier.
Got it.
Now I could. Like, I tried a couple of, let's say, late braking maneuvers to say that. So for this is like, typically you're on an empty road and you'll be driving a little bit quickly, let's say, for that point that you've chosen to brake for. And can you hit that marker or not, right?
Right.
Those kind of things, right? And you find that, hey, I'm being able to judge this well enough. It's not like I'm missing my markers or it's not predictable enough. So this seemed like, again, a small
Step up.
and all these things will help make the car feel more connected to drive and therefore like a better experience.
So this is the atomic habits, like facelift.
Correct. This would be that 1% everywhere kind of situation. And that's
It's not a bad thing. Yeah, it's not a bad
actually,
thing.
that's a superb analogy, because if you look at this car right now and say that, what's the big deal in this? You're right. There's no big deal in this.
But when you drive it, there is a big deal.
Everything 1% adds up to it feeling like a very solid car.
And then you add the price and reposition, then it becomes a persuasive.
Yeah. Now, again, relative to the Magnite, the thing where the Magnite continues to punch above the Kiger is when you look at...
How many cars did you load into that one sentence, bro? The Magnite continues to punch above the Kiger.
Oh, nice. Okay. I missed that. So for every variant that the Kiger has. The Magnite has an equivalent.
Okay.
But the Magnite packs in more features.
Okay.
So it'll go one step. So like let's say wireless smartphone connectivity will be available in one variant below on the Magnite relative to the Kiger.
So the value quotient there is higher.
Is definitely higher. But the wow quotient here on the higher variants, they've gone and delivered that. And the interesting thing is that, like we said earlier also, like Nissan only has one model, so they have to make it work from all sides.
Yeah.
Whereas for Renault, this is now they are anticipating now this will be a, let's say maybe a step down model for somebody who's looking at the Duster, because that's going to be their next product, which which will come next year.
There was a time when if a Kwid or a Kiger went past you, you wouldn't be able to tell which one was which until you saw the back of the two cars. Kartikeya tells me on MotorInc First that that has been fixed, and a lot of other things on the Kiger have also been improved. To find out the details, please check out MotorInc First. It's free to watch on the MotorInc app, which is available as a free download on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.